Hi, welcome to my channel.
Hey, Uncle Kenny! Football! Hey, yeah!
If you're new here, my name is Cedric. I'm an actor, a filmmaker, a screenwriter, and a YouTube reactor. I'm a big BTS fan, and I was very excited to see that J-Hope and J.Cole did a collaboration. So I thought we should check that out here on this channel. What do I expect from this? Probably some cool rhythms, probably some cool movement, probably some cool cinematography. That's all I know. I think I saw like a teaser for it I think it was on Twitter, which is how I found out about it. And it looked like it was filmed in Brooklyn, maybe. So I guess we're going to find out. But that's all I know. So I'm excited to check this out. Before we jump in, I, of course, want to say thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. Just for everything that I'm doing and with how busy I am. It means so much to me as you support my career and my YouTube channel and everything else. I also want to say thank you to those of you who reached out following the recent theft of my car. Yes, someone stole my car. It was not great. It was recovered pretty quickly. And it's a whole mess now as I try to resolve this problem and get everything taken care of. There was damage, it's got to be repaired, etc., etc. So thank you all for reaching out. It's very frustrating, and we're here. On the brighter side, I want to say thank you to those of you who have checked out The Coroner's Assistant. If you haven't heard about it, The Coroner's Assistant is a YouTube series, a short-form TV series. There's 4 episodes in season 1 that's coming out on YouTube. It's a true indie project with amazing creatives that I'm so grateful to have gotten to work with and to take on the character of the Coroner's Assistant. I'll leave links to that in the description and in a comment to this video, but you can check it out. As of the time of recording this, the first 2 episodes are out, but I know episodes 3 and 4 are coming soon. Thank you for checking that out. Thank you to those of you who have watched Coco, which is a family-friendly comedy that I'm in, as well as to those of you who have checked out the Grounders trailer, for those who have checked out Forbearance, and some of the other recent projects that I've been in that have come out. I'll always try to keep you guys up to date on the films that I'm doing, on the theater I'm doing, etc., etc. If you're anywhere in the Hannibal, Missouri area, I am directing a play called The Gospel According to Thomas Jefferson, Charles Dickens, and Count Leo Tolstoy. It's a farcical comedy. It's really, really fun. I'm excited to return to the Bluff City Theater where I did Kennedy last year to direct this project with 3 amazing actors from Brooklyn. So maybe they're in this. I don't know. But it's going to be really fun. I hope if any of you are in the area, you'll come check it out. That's from May 11th to the 20th. May 11th. I knew that. Lots of dates in my head. Okay, here we go. J-Hope, J.Cole, on the street. Big hit, music. Nice. Very saturated in the color grade. Steady tilt down, good even framing. Good the use of red and green all over the frame.
Every time I work, every time I run, every time I move, as always for us. Every time I live, every time I love, every time I hope, as always for us.
Nice. Okay, so we're on a pretty wide angle lens. You can see they've got a bit of shading happening on the edges of the screen. So that kind of centers where we're looking. It centers the light. And obviously if they're shooting in an alley, what natural light is there, you're not able to fly a lot of light in, particularly with how much they're moving the camera and how wide they're keeping it. So it directs our own vision toward J-Hope in this moment as he's kneeling down with the boy, which tells us a lot about his character in this. Look at the use of red and green, which clash on camera, which is why you see them used so often together. And then his jacket has like this splash of whitish tan on it. He's got a tan shirt that matches with the sidewalks, the kind of reddish brown that we're seeing. There's a lot being done in color grade. I've been in New York and the streets are not green. So they are kind of adding a little bit while maintaining skin tones on him, which is cool. They're also having a nice shaded fall off on him. All of this serves essentially to just put us in this kind of hyper saturated mindset where he's talking about what he's doing when he's out every day as he goes about his life. And so keeping it natural looking, but knowing that it's just a little bit more than what we're used, no pun intended, since the last song that I did from J-Hope was called More. That was not intentional, but it's hilarious, isn't it? You're all laughing. It just takes us from this space of naturalism and enhances it just a little bit, almost imperceptibly, but just a little bit. Also, the camera just kind of sweeping past everything. It allows us to take in all the details of the graffiti, of the woman laying flowers down, all the writing on the side of the walls. Helps us take all that in. The other thing I wanted to note is, as we're seeing how wide this is and we're kind of hearing the sounds of the city around too, notice how that record scratch kind of panned from left to right as the song was starting.
Every time I move, as always for us.
It's interesting to hear how they're trying to use sound design to kind of set everything up for us.
Anywhere, J in the air. 그는 길이 희망이 되고자 하연하고 태어 입은 my world was made of your love in your face. 보다 볼해 저 멀리서라도 나비가 돼. Just walk lightly whenever you want. Go on hopefully wherever you walk. 누군가의 숨 깃들여 있는 거리 내 영혼과 영원을 담을게 everywhere. Every time I walk.
I think it was really interesting, by the way, he's using the term hope a lot here, which is, because of his name. But notice how he was running toward the stop signs that both said one way. And this whole thing is about how I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to choose hope. You all believed in me. He said like a butterfly and spread his arms out like wings. It's all about remaining clearly him. With everything, that's at least how I'm taking it so far. Again, the red and green, they have this kind of clashing feel to it. Green sort of evoking nature, the natural order, the natural world of things, but also kind of a poison, sort of sickness. And then the red sort of being this anger, passion, love. It can mean so many different things. So to combine those two with this theme really, really intrigues me. Also notice even here on this wide shot, right where I pause as he's walking in, we have this car kind of flying by, yeah. But we have the one-way signs. There's one way everywhere. Let's take it back maybe 5 seconds. That was interesting. That was not a real taxi. Did you guys notice that? And I wondered when I had it paused. If you really look close, it's good CGI, and I really actually like having it there because of the camera's motion. It kind of motivates us a little bit, and there's no reason for them to have used a real car if they could just add one in. But it didn't look like it was real. The shadow doesn't quite play on the street the right way, which maybe they're going to be using a number of added elements that are natural to the city, but added, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them, but. Yeah, it's a well CGI'd taxi, but it's fake. Look how wide that is. Nice, close widening the lens. Sorry, I know I'm pausing this a lot. They're starting to use reflections and this idea of reflecting back on ourselves. And notice that even as he's reflecting back on himself in this song, reflecting back on his journey, reflecting on where he wants to go, that it was rippled. We couldn't quite see it clearly. It's, he's walking by exit signs, stop signs, one-way signs, and he's kind of defying them. We saw the exit sign, he was walking in. We saw the stop sign, he ran past it. I think he followed the one-way sign, but that's okay. So it's just something interesting to keep track of is what are the visual cues here? We're about to come in on J.Cole. That sure looks like they're in Brooklyn.
Every time I look, every time I love, every time I hope, it's always for us.
Nice use of the columns to motivate the movement there.
Yeah.
See how it makes that push and look bigger?
Mighty survivor of hell. Plop down from heaven to sail. Holy water that I scoop from the well. Tooth and a nail just to prevail. Monster ruthless as I move through the field. Feeling worried.
Nice.
In a hurry like a 2-minute drill. To make a couple mil off a lucrative deal. Selling train of thought. Name an artist who could derail. You never see it like a hula hooping in jail. I got a friend smarter, but he's stupid as hell. He swear that God ain't real, since it ain't no way to prove it itself. As if the universe ain't enough. As if the volcanoes ain't erupt. As if the birds don't chirp. As if a trillion nerves don't work in a human body. Shit, who would I be without?
Yeah, I'm digging this. A lot of you know there's a reason I'm directing this play about 3 men who wrote their own gospels. I am very into theology. I am a Christian, the progressive side of Christianity, and I'm really just intrigued by the thought process of this. So starting with the self, that's where J-Hope starts with this whole thing is, I am who I am, and you all know that and have embraced me as being who I am. And then the second verse with J.Cole coming in and going in an even more spiritual route, right? So there's this, who is God? What is God? How do I fit into whatever God is? Hey, it's Seti here, and this one's actually not for comedy. I just wanted to expand on this concept a little bit because the interesting thing to me is J-Hope's verse is really about how everybody that has been a part of his journey, all the fans, the other members of BTS, everybody that's been with him since he was on this street dancing scene, have let him be who he is. And I think that that's wonderful, and it's a great message, and it's very powerful, and it gets at the root of a rule we used to have at a church that I used to work for and go to, and that I love very, very much. And I love this rule, and that rule is that faith is made whole in community. And I love that J-Hope is acknowledging that community to let him get to where he is, and that J. Cole is then expanding that and inviting other people into this conversation with him. And I really love this a lot. Anyway, back to the video. Okay. And we see, J. Cole's up on this rooftop where we've got all of New York City splayed out behind him. We see all these skyscrapers. We see bridges. We hear trains. He's talking about trains ongoing, right? And this idea of travel and busyness and so much. And yet he's dealing with these existential questions, walking by, this pool of water that's on the ground, again, reflecting back up at the sky. There's this need of going about our lives and asking these questions. And I appreciate that they are willing to ask these. I'm probably going to bleep the language because I try to not swear in my everyday life, and I do fail, but I not that there's anything wrong with swearing. I don't know. Everybody just live your lives, okay? I try not to. I fail, particularly when I'm playing video games. They are frustrating. So I'm just going to bleep those for my own channel. You didn't need an explanation of that. I love this discussion. I love the conversations, particularly the rhythms. I want to go back over that and hear a little bit more of it. I love the contrast of J-Hope being down on a subway platform, underground, covered with these columns closing in around him, kind of creating a claustrophobic feel and look to it with this heavy, pervasive red. And then J. Cole up on the rooftop, open, wide, shallow focus, so everything behind him is out of focus, but there's a lot of green in that frame. So again, keeping those things going, right, with the different color schemes that we've established. But now we've got underground, above ground, tight framing, wide open framing. And the idea of examining self, examining God. Do we find God in ourselves? Do we find ourselves in God? I think that there's a lot that's really, really fascinating going on here.
Train of thought, name an artist who could derail. You never see it like a hula hooping in jail. I got a friend smarter, but he's stupid as hell. He swear that God ain't real, since it ain't no way to prove it itself. As if the universe ain't enough. As if the volcanoes ain't erupt. As if the birds don't chirp. As if a trillion nerves don't work in a human body. Shit, who would I be without the creator of this theater beside me to gently guide me? Some days I wonder if I need to pick a different hobby. I'm deep in with this rapping, it's all I know. I I never did nothing better, it's hard to let it go. But like a father watching his daughter walk down the altar with tears in his eyes, you gotta let her grow. And so I shall, but first I've been honing my style. Coders around with more quotables than what the quota allows. You see a top 10 list, I see a golden corral. As the moon jumps over the cow.
He's so good. Those lyrics are so good. Again, dealing with the image of whatever that ethereal being, however we define God as being, I mean, a number of things here, right? So being a parent, being, but also maybe being the child, letting the idea of God as a concept grow, that we have to let go and let grow. And that God does the same for us. And again, J-Hope, the camera getting really close on him as he's dancing and it's turning around him. We're only getting a glimpse of J-Hope's movement. We're getting a lens flare coming in on J.Cole up on the rooftop. And so as these lyrics are going, we're getting a little bit faster with the cuts. We're getting a little bit more intense with where the camera's going, but we're still keeping it smooth, steady. We're not going to handheld. There's still a sense of control with these questions. There's a sense of abandon for sure. There's a sense of letting go and being free to ask these questions. There's a real freedom in this video, both with the cinematography, the choreography, the lyrics, the rhythm. And that's something J-Hope has always excelled in, is he's sort of got this on the edge of the beat with his rapping in particular and with his dance. He's such a fascinating dancer, and I think that's what informs his style as a rapper. And so you see that he's kind of right on the edge of the beat. He's almost always earlier, almost always late, and he never is. But it kind of lets you fall into the next section of the song with him, and to me it's very, very compelling to hear, versus, for example, Suga is very, very strict in his rhythm and timing, but puts more aggression into his voice, versus RM, who's a little bit more laid back but still sticks to everything, right? So now we've got J.Cole is starting to mix up J-Hope and J.Cole as I say it. J.Cole is punching more and more at it, but we're getting these different styles of performance from them too, even as they deal with similar topics in the video itself. I find this fascinating. I'm loving it.
I contemplate if I should wait to hand over the crown and stick around for a bit longer. I got a strange type of hunger. The more I eat, the more it gets stronger. The more it gets stronger. I said the more it gets stronger. J-Hope, Cold World.
Every time I work, every time I run, every time
nice harmonies there.
it's always for us.
See, we see the trains behind him.
Every time I love, every time I hope, it's always for us. Every time I work, every time I run, every time.
Just pausing to say that I regret not being in New York the day that he walked up out of that subway entrance. That would have been really exciting. No, for real. Look at this. Now, in the subway car, they used orange instead of red. Might have been an issue of just getting a red subway car or production designing it in a certain way. But again, orange is still tied in with that tan red scheme. Even here on the street, I'm assuming that they probably shut down this sidewalk for production. I can't be sure. They might have just had these people sign a waiver if they were in the frame. But normally to get someone's face in the camera, you're signing some sort of waiver. So they probably shut down this street and cast these people. And another way to tell that is they're all either wearing black or sort of a greenish blue type of jacket, or if you look back here, kind of white or tan. So even all these background actors are fitting in this color scheme. It's subtle. It's not even super necessary for this all to work, but just visually it makes it more appealing, and it guides our eye toward our hero of the shot in J-Hope.
It's always for us. Every time I look, every time I love, every time I hope, it's always for us.
Nice. Yeah, you could actually see when they cut to slow-mo here, you can see the lights behind him start flickering because you're exposing for certain things in shutter, and it's fine, but you can see the exact moment that it cuts to slow-mo if you look at the street lights behind him, because you can't adjust your, it's fine. But see that? It works though. I love the bokeh look. I love the choice to go slow-mo at the end. Nice. Love the full soundscape here. And he was going to meet him. That's cool. He was going to meet him. I love that. Yeah, that was fantastic. Y'all, I really, really like that. I feel like I kind of touched on everything that I necessarily wanted to bring up there. But regardless, I just, I wasn't anticipating, I guess, that deep of a philosophical conversation around that. And I thought it was really, really wonderful. So thank you to all of you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that this video makes you think. It's going to make me think. I'm probably going to be, well, I'm going to be editing this. So I'm going to be thinking about these lyrics. I've probably added a lot of thoughts by the time you're seeing this in my subtitles there, or my captions. But I thought it was great. You know, the cinematography, I feel like I touched on everything there, but it's the questions that they were asking that's really going to keep me thinking here. It's a pleasant surprise. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please drink lots of water. Get enough sleep. I haven't been doing that. Get enough sleep, please. Fix your postures. And until next time, please be well.